A very good day everybody, and welcome to another live stream, another video. I'm your personal funky scene pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko and I will be your captain for today. So today we are going to fly the PMDG DC-6 Bravo again, and we'll be flying from Bolivia to Peru. We're sitting at the Jorge Wilstermann International Airport, and we're going to fly to ILO Airport in Peru. Just going to be actually just like another transportation flight, which is just consumables that we'll be transporting that do not necessarily go by customs. But you know, it's all politics. We do not concern ourselves with politics, right? We just care about the flying, and that's what we're here to do. So it's a beautiful day here in Bolivia. You can have a look at the it's a really tiny little airport, but it does look very pretty. And of course, so does the DC-6 that we're going to fly. So let's just get in. I opened up the window for now. It's a really nice day. We're choosing real world time and weather here, so no idea what to expect really when we land. The other day we did a stream. We're flying the same aircraft. It was from Honolulu to the other island in Hawaii in the south, and by the time we arrived, the clouds were forming, and it was all covered up and cloudy, and it was getting dark. The sun was setting, and we couldn't see nothing. And yeah, I crashed the plane. So let's hope that's not going to happen today. But I have good hopes. So without any further ado, not even a little ado, let's just go ahead and start up the aircraft. I'm going to make use of the artificial flight engineer for now. As you might know if you watch these streams more often, I do definitely aspire to one day say goodbye to our AFE. But for now, it's going to be a very welcome feature. So please start the before checklist.
Cockpit pre-flight. Completed. Voice recorder. Tasted. Oil coolers and cow flaps. Auto in position. Fuel and fluids. Checked. Pressurization. Set. Manifold and duct pressure. Checked. Radios. Checked. Doors and hatches. Closed. Door warning lights. Out. Gear pins. Removed. 3 on board. Seat belts and pedals. Adjusted. Throttles. Set to idle. Propellers. Forward at 3. Before start checks complete. Start engines.
Okay, there you go. The artificial flight engineer just did the preparations for the start. So we will start the engines momentarily. And let me quickly show you the flight plan that I had in mind for today's flight from Bolivia to Peru. Let's go ahead and pull up the SkyVector website for you. And you can see this is our location in South America. As I said, we are sitting here in Bolivia, the Jorge Wilstermann Airport. So we're going to fly an outbound on the VOR. That's probably what we're going to do first. For about 127 nautical miles, heading of 305 degrees. Hopefully we can actually fly the track as opposed to just the heading, but actually ground track. Let's have a look at, did not check, well, it's just mountains, so you should just be flying over those mountains, we should probably be fine. Well, it looks like they're pretty high. Then we will reach our next VOR, which is the Lima Papa Zulu. And from there we will fly another 152 nautical miles to a heading of 239 degrees. It looks like a really big circle, so I'm hoping it is also a very strong signal. And then we'll fly to the Sierra Papa Tango November airport. There is the Tacna VOR, that's where we're flying next. And then after that, straight onto the airport, Sierra Papa Lima Oscar, is the yellow airport in Peru. So it's about a 1 hour and 47 minutes flight. Well, actually it's based on 140. Well, we should probably go higher actually, but you know, we'll do this. I'm not going to bother with this now, but now you have a general idea of what it is that we're going to do. Now we're going to fly an outbound, as I said, try to fly the outbound VOR. In this aircraft I'm still learning how to properly operate the VOR. Even a simple aircraft, sometimes it's a challenge for me, to be fair. But it is all fun, so that's good. I was looking at the charts, let's pull those up as well. So you can have a look. There is, because I was wondering, you know, how the hell do you climb out of here? Because if you look outside, there's definitely, I could see some mountains. It's nothing too crazy, but yeah, I was wondering nonetheless. So they do definitely have some departure charts as well. And for our runway 14 for today, this would be one of the charts. So you would fly a runway heading. You maintain the runway heading until 7 DME from the Charlie Bravo Alpha VOR. That's sitting right there in the middle. Then turn right heading 166 degrees until you reach Vukri. Well, I have no way of telling when we are there. Does it say maybe on the chart? Does this mean like 9 nautical miles from the 7 from there probably? So it will be a 15 DME, I would assume. Oh, it says here 15 DME, there you go. Okay, and then I'm unfamiliar with the procedure for flying DME arc, VOR arc, but I guess from here we should be able to take it. We just keep on climbing. Initial climb is 9,800, then 13,000, 16,000, and the flight level 190. So yeah, we're going to go pretty high. Not really sure, still not really super convinced what the operating ceiling is of the DC-6, but as long as we don't crash, it should probably all be fine, right? So, well, we've sort of had a little briefing, so let's start up the engines. So as always, you'll start with the mixture. They go to completely full. So there you go, right there. So actually shortcut for the overhead. Let's press random buttons here. To make our lives a little easier, I'm just going to turn on all the booster pumps and all the sparks for every single engine as well. Engine number 3 selected, so let's just go ahead and start it up.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Alright, so we got one engine started. So we go and select engine number 4. I'm gonna wait a bit for these two buttons to click back into their starting position. And we repeat the process all over again.
3,
counting the rotation of the blade.
6, 9, 12.
Prime it and boost. And that starts the engine for us. So we go to the engine number 2 selector. Prime it and the boost. And that also sounds like it's starting up properly. So we'll wait for the prime and the boost button. I'm actually not sure whether it's okay to just put them back into the position manually.
3,
Probably no problem,
6,
but don't think I ever tried,
9, 12.
or at least not consciously. Okay, so we are looking at 4 running engines. Let's get a better view here. There you go. Look at fuel pressure on all 4 engines. We got the oil pressure on all 4 engines. We got oil temperature that's rising. We got manifold pressure and from a low RPM. And some low BMEP as well. Still not really sure what the BMEP stands for, but it should all be working out fine for today's flight anyway. So we could do the after start checklist.
Off and off. Battery switch. Flight metric. Generators and inverters. Checked and on. Emergency lights. Armed.
Okay, so they close the window there.
Removed. After start checks complete.
Okay, so the after start checklist is complete as well. And I guess we're about ready to taxi. How do I operate this thing? Just let it stick in the... let's get all OCD. Okay. So before takeoff we wait a little bit, so now we taxi. And let's pull up the taxi chart. We're sitting here at the cargo apron. So we're going to taxi through Bravo and then on to runway 23. And we just take a right turn. We could probably also take the taxiway, but let's just occupy the ground here. So we're just going through the runway, and then we do a little turnaround here because we're taking off in heading 140. See, does it actually say the exact heading? Not that I can find for now. Yes, it should be here. 141 degrees. Okay, there you go. You see, it's actually always on the charts. It's usually a matter of being able to find it. Okay, so let's see if we can reverse. Because I remember yesterday I tried reversing in this aircraft and it did not really appear to work. So this is the reverser. And let's just see if we pull back now, if we actually start going backwards or not. And again, it doesn't look like are we moving? Yes, we are definitely moving. It is not a lot. And now we're no longer moving, I believe. So not really sure what the problem is right there. let's also actually put in the VOR that we're going to fly an outbound radial. The Charlie Bravo Alpha, I believe it was. Let's have a look at the SID chart again. Charlie Bravo Alpha. That is 112.1. So we'll put that in. 112. And there's the decimal 1. Put it in there. And we got a signal here, so that's good as well. So that's good stuff right there. Yes, we're just going to take a right turn here and try not to crash into the building. Should just barely work out, I believe. Let's go and give it a shot. Look at that. Oh, it's so scary, man, look. But we're out. It looked like the engines were working not symmetrical there. So let's give it another shot. Engine should be fine, I guess. Not really sure. Do not believe I've ever seen this before, actually. This thing is loud, man. Okay, let's turn down the sound here on my end a little bit before I go deaf. We'll have a look at the taxi chart. So there is actually a taxiway here that is not showing on the chart. So then it looks like we need to take a right turn and then either go by where the principal apron there. Let's just do that. So we take a right turn and then... No, and then straight onto the runway. I want to. Alright. Would be nice if this car got out of the way. So we got all 4 engines, but for some reason, if anybody has an idea, please let me know, but it looks like engine 3, it looks like engine, let's see, 2 and 3 and 1 and 4 are different manifold pressure. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 as well. They got different RPM. I have no clue why this would be. Artificial flight engineer, do you have any idea? Let them do the DB4 takeoff, see what that does.
Boost pumps on low.
Let me just carry on taxiing.
Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot and carb heat. Off and cold. Hydraulic system. Down, forward, pressure and quantity checked. Okay. Flaps 20. Flaps set 20. Windows and turbine. Closed and on. Controls. Dust lock released. Free. Detonator. On. Mixture and cowl flaps. Engine locked. Set. Transponder. On.
Wow, that was a big turn, man.
Landing lights. Extended and on. Before takeoff checks complete.
I have a little question actually for the about the voices for the artificial flight engineers. I mean, those guys sound like South African guys, right? Or am I going crazy? Because I could swear, man, it's like it sounds like a South African English accent to me. So still looking at a sort of a weird setup there, if you ask me. Going a little too harsh, I believe, on the RPM. I believe you should actually aim for about 1000 RPM. But yeah, for which one, you know? I've never seen this before, actually. I have no clue as to why that is the case. Also, this light is burning and I do not know what it is. I could press it, but no clue what it does. So maybe after the flight, if there is such a thing, if we survive, I will check the manual and see if that makes any sense, or at least see what the little light is supposed to be indicating. Okay, so here are at the end of runway 14. Wow, check those sounds, man. That's cool. Okay, so let's it's a little bit to the left, I believe, but it will do. If there's anything I can do about those engines, if I put them all to idle, it is going to happen. Is there anything we can see on the gauges here? Fuel flow, flare, oil pressure, fuel pressure. It should be looking fine actually. We got fuel. No, for now I believe I will just give up. Okay, so we are 1.0 nautical miles. We're going to fly a runway heading for about 7 nautical miles, then we turn right heading 166 degrees. Let's see, so that is not so, that is just a little turn. Are you kidding me? Let's have one more look at the chart, because on the chart it looked like a bigger turn to me. SID, and then this one here. So 141, that's about 25 degrees. So that is not a whole lot. And then you turn right heading 315 after 15 DME from the Charlie. Actually it says Charlie Bravo Bravo. Not really sure. I believe that's an NDB then. This one, Charlie Bravo Bravo. Okay, but that's a worry for another day. Just see how this goes for now. Could maybe can we use, let's see. This is the heading. 315 will just be a heading, but then after, let's say after Terep, I would actually like to fly an outbound on the VOR. So heading 305. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so if everybody's ready, let's just go ahead and get this party started. So we're going to do a wet runway, wet takeoff.
1. 30 inches stabilize. 30 inches stabilize.
This looks better now, doesn't it? So maybe I just abused the engines, I don't know. So we're going to wait, waiting for full power.
Cal flaps set. Full power, please. Going full power.
We're going full power now. We just wait for full power established and then we let go of the parking brake. Alright, so here we go. Parking brake released. So, goodbye Bolivia. We are on our way to Peru, people. Let's keep it centered on the runway. We'll wait for a speed of about 100 or 107 knots. Man, it's a truly, really kick-ass cool airplane, man. Totally loving it. Keep it on the runway for now. For hard time reading the speedometer there. Well, this is about our takeoff speed, so let's just take off nice and easy. Just trim it a little bit.
Master ring, gear up. Gear selected up.
Climb not too much, just 1000 feet per minute for now.
Gear up, lights out.
And then as soon as the flaps go up, we can increase the climbing speed. So let's maintain runway heading like this. Make sure we do keep climbing, please. Not too much, because we definitely need a little more speed here. The speed appears to be low, man. So I'm going to disengage the autopilot thingy for now. Just because I want to make sure we're not messing it up if we not already did so. And put the nose down a little bit and try to get some speed. So I'm just thinking maybe we should actually not even be flying the SID, because it might not apply to the type of aircraft that you're flying now, but I'm not really sure. Well, still in the takeoff. The distance 5 point something, but speed's way too slow, man. It's not dangerous yet, but we should be getting rid of those flaps, I believe. I'm just going to do it myself.
Flaps up. Flaps going up.
Otherwise, we're just going to crawl forward. That's not what I want. 6.4 nautical miles. And now we can start climbing a little better. The speed's now definitely picking up.
Retail power. Setting meter power, 48 inches, 2600 RPM.
Right, not to climb more than 1500 feet per minute.
Setting climb power.
Distance 8, so we should turn right now.
Climb power set. After takeoff checklist, please.
You know, just abandoning the SID.
After takeoff checks are complete.
Just going to fly to the heading of, what was it? Let me quickly check. 305. Okay, that was a little bit messy coming out of the turn. Can we re-engage? No, we need to put this down, this up, this up. Okay, so at least we're trying to hold the heading here. It is about 300, it's not 305 just yet. Speed's dropping, so let's drop our nose a little. And just take our time climbing. It's a relatively slow airplane, if you compare it to jets, you know. So let's go 1000 feet, because it's really getting slow there. And speed's still dropping. Not really sure why that is. I fear it might have something. It feels like it has something to do with the autopilot. Although, not really sure, but Yeah, this is a little bit of a messy takeoff, if you ask me. I've had better takeoffs than this one. I do know that the aircraft doesn't require maintenance, and there is actually a chance if you go to maintenance. Look, if I would do repair engine, it says 4.67. Yeah, see, there you go. Let's just do this for now in mid-flight. Service all the props, top of the engines. Not maybe that definitely impacts performance. So, okay, so we are climbing, so that's good. We are drifting from our heading a little bit. So let's pull it straight right here. Can we tell what now is our heading? 30. Feels like there might be some wind from the right. So let's keep on climbing so that we can actually get over those mountains right there. We are still climbing, so far so good. And I will quickly check what the next VOR would have to be. .114.1. Could maybe put it in the second one, 114.1. Let's see if that picks up. I don't think it does. So in other words, if we switch the standby frequency on the nav1 to the active, we should probably not be reading a DME. Oh, we actually are. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. Okay, so I didn't say anything. And the heading should be 305. Come on. So can we go ahead and engage? Let's see what is our heading. Drifting to the left. There is some clouds there. 0 coming up. Beautiful aircraft. Okay, that mountain is getting quite close, so you can see the nose wants to drop sometimes a little bit. We do not want that. So the current altitude 17,000 feet. So let's keep it climbing, please. And just to be sure, I'm going to turn on all the anti-icing. For once we might hit some of the clouds. Alright, there you go. Feels like there's quite some strong winds as well, which would not be strange, you know, with all these mountains here. We're bound to have some, I believe, updrafts or whatever. So there's definitely going to be some winds going on. We're still actually sort of on the course, so that's good. .1. What if I do this? Let me check here. So this is a little bit scary, because you know these clouds, you cannot see what is behind them. But you know, we can also not climb too quickly, because we simply do not have enough power. So we should make sure we keep on climbing. Keep on climbing. No, yeah, there you go. Going back to 1,000, 1,500 even. I try to make the small incremental changes in the with the trimming, but it is just going crazy. Like little corrections, and it just shoots up and down. It feels a little unstable. So we officially cannot see the ground below us. And I believe we might actually also be reaching sort of the top of what this aircraft can do. So we're resetting the altitude to altimeter, I mean, to standard QNH. So I do want to climb a little higher, maybe 20,000 feet or 21,000 could also be fine. Preferably not fly through the clouds. You can see already there's some icing forming here, which is not all that great. So we did put on all the anti-icing system, but not really sure if the windows, how this works. So we're still climbing. What I will also do is quickly just turn up the heat here in the cabin. Temperature control, let's just do that. Hopefully that will also reduce further ice forming. And we're actually now, oh, wow, it's behaving a little differently, these altitudes. So let's see if we can reduce our rate of climb, maybe 500 feet per minute. Looks like the speed is battling there, and it looks like it's dropping a little bit. We need to go a little to the right. So 19,000 feet, speed a little over 100 knots. Sort of looks like it's saying I'm finished climbing Arkady. You know what, let's just take a chance, and for now we will actually engage the autopilot again. And we maintain the altitude as well. And we ask the artificial flight engineer to go into cruise stage.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
So we go to set cruise power. We are holding altitude. Speed is picking up. We're holding at 18,700 feet. Trusting for now that this is okay. We'll just check the instruments here. It still looks stable. So let's quickly check what the charts are saying. So what we're trying to do, let's just close this window. What we're trying to do is get from here to here. Obviously you can see there's a lot of mountains here. And I was hoping to maybe find some
cruise checks are complete.
Some altitude constraints. Here it was flight level 1905, which we are not meeting currently. I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly. So does it mean, let me go back to that part here. So what does this precisely apply to which area? Only this here, this little area where the letters are? So that I'm not really sure about, or maybe the entire ring. If that is the case, we are, well, definitely threading the needle. So the ice is not going completely crazy yet, but let's check our situation. Speed 160. Altitude trying to hold. So now let's see if we can fly the follow the VOR. So you go to your gyro pilot and you select localizer. And this is the wrong one because it's now not responding anyway. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing. So let's just hope for the best and hope we do not crash. This should go on a track of 305, but nothing is changing. We do have a DME, but and if we now disengage and re-engage, will it now turn? No, it's not turning, man. Okay, so that's the first. Usually I do not actually have so much trouble flying VOR. Obviously we are very far away, but I do not understand why it's picking up a signal, but it is not showing here, no any direction. Let's do a little experiment. Change the numbers a little. Do it on this side as well. Now what do we read here? So here nothing changes, this is gone. So check again, the VOR that we are flying to should be, let me show you as well so you know what I'm looking at as well. So pull up the chart and we're trying to fly to this VOR right here. Oh, did I really? Are you kidding me? Did I put in the wrong? Look at me, man. Okay, I just put in the wrong frequency. This is something I do often, actually. Way too often if you ask me. Here it says La Paz. This is what I checked, 114.1. So this actually does look good. But here it says 115.7. So one could think, which one is it now? I mean, these are real life charts, real world charts, you know? So maybe I'm not understanding something. This is Papa Alpha Zulu, and this is Lima Papa Zulu. There you go. We need Papa Alpha Zulu 115.7. I guess hopefully that helps. 115.7. A sort of change of plans. 115.7. Put it in. 115.7. Activate. That is definitely picking up. That is what you want to see. 74 nautical miles. And this should be good. And you can see the aircraft turning immediately. So that feels good. We're finally took us like I don't know, 25 minutes, but it looks like we are on the course. Speed is picking up, 190. Part of me wants to try and fly a little higher, see if we can get above these clouds. So that same part of me is going to try and do so. So we disengage the altitude hold, and I'll watch the instruments real close and do a little increment. We trim up. Nothing appears to happen just yet. Wait a little bit, and then it's coming. A little more. So I asked a little more and it just goes down. So that's a little confusing. But could have something to do with the altitude here, I'm not really sure. Let's go a little more severe. You know, the style that people cause accidents. No, it does not seem to want to go any higher. Of course, what we can also try. What do we see outside? Oh, look, mountains, you're kidding me? Oh my god, man. I wonder if you're gonna make it out alive. I'm gonna manually try to go up 1,000 feet per minute. Try and keep it there. So altitude is definitely increasing. Oh man, this is that's so scary, you know, with these clouds, you have no clue. But fortunately we still got quite a lot of speed. So I suggest we just use it. Obviously it's dropping relatively rapidly. We're now flight level 200. Looks like that could also still be mountains there. No, it's actually going down, man. Look. This is not good. This is very not good. I'm going to steer away from these mountains. Man, these are definitely some adventurous flights, man. I'm going completely off course now. Simply try and get away from these clouds. And then we'll figure out the navigation later. And to repeat an aphorism that I quite like. First you navigate, if you first you aviate, then you navigate, and then you communicate. But yes, this is a little above the operating speed, operating altitude, I believe. So this is not a nice situation to be in. And definitely, for the inexperienced pilots, it's a definite killer. There you go, flying into nothing until we reach the black screen saying you crashed into something. Okay, so the speed is dropping dangerously low here. So I am definitely aware that I'm threading the needle. We're 21,000 feet. But man, these are weird conditions, man. They're definitely dangerous. And I'm having to keep the nose up as well. I could try another trim maybe. see if I can let go of the stick for a little bit. It looks like I can. Hopefully that's good news. Not too much, please. If you would like to keep our speed. But let's please get clear of these clouds, man. The speed's definitely dropping. Can you imagine if we did not put on the anti-ice, we wouldn't see anything. But there, look, you know, it looks like mountains and they're really quite close by. So I'm gonna do something stupid and try the altitude hold. Is that even working? Let's do it ourselves then. Man, it's a wonder we're still flying. It's absolutely a wonder we're still flying. I promise after this we'll just fly a simple flight with an Airbus somewhere in Europe or the United States or whatever. My God, man, this is nerve-wracking. Yeah, there's definitely some altitude in our favor, but is there any way that we can reset maybe the gyro pilot? We should sort of officially now try to maintain the same altitude, but you can see the losing altitude, and then it swings up. Let's have a look outside. We can see what it is doing. Here is what I mean, and maybe that's why it's having a little bit of trouble. There you go, now it's settling. So yeah, there you go, man. Can you imagine, you're flying up an airplane like this, you have a hard time looking out of the windows, you can see something, but the visibility is slightly improving. Let us now check, our course should be that direction, 30 something. So let's see if we can engage the navigation. Nerve-wracking. Did I say it's nerve-wracking? Have I said it before? Because I will say it again, this is definitely nerve-wracking. But it is done so nice, man. It is done really nice. Oh look, mountaintops. We're at 51 nautical miles from the first VOR. And possible moments away from death. In a spectacular crash into the mountains. So yeah, this might be the last time that that I will attempt a flight like this, because it is a high mountain range to cover, and you know, this is not the most quick airplane. It's not like the CRJ or something, you know, that just shoots up in the sky like a rocket. You know, this aircraft is, you know, it's like, no disrespect, but it's like an older man, you know, just needs to get into his tempo, you know, and then get sort of stable and just slowly but surely gain a little more speed, gain a little more momentum, you know what I mean. But but for certain situations, unless you need to just really plan ahead, it doesn't look like it would be the suitable aircraft. But anything can be done, you know, we're human, so we can do a whole bunch of stuff. But probably there's a lot of planning involved, and maybe not choose the shortcut that I did, you know, with the VR that we're flying to now. Maybe it's just not a very smart direction to fly to. So visibility even more improving here, and even more so there's no real mountains very close by, so that's definitely good. So I'll show you the map, explain what I'm contemplating. So what we chose obviously is to go through via this VR, because it looks big and powerful, so I assume, you know, if you would go here and then here, this might be too long. Something is making clicking sounds again. I believe this is the ice, man. I had this earlier and there was also ice. Yeah, see, maybe because the ice is going a little. Oh man, this is a sight for sore eyes for sure. But it looks beautiful. Look, there's eternal snow. Man, this was quite a trip, I should say, for sure. It's over 39 nautical miles. Let's have a little look externally. Mind your ear. Look at the area, man. Just beautiful. Excuse me. Yeah, so we do not really know where we are now. We could sort of work it out. I mean, we are flying straight to the VOR. So we're on a radio. Let's see, what is it? 325. So I guess you could say we're on a 325 radial. So instead of 305 radial, we're on the, or maybe just check this side, but yeah, so 325 radial, so we're sort of flying from here, this line, sort of. So can we see the big mountain top that we could just see? Is that this one, or this is 127 nautical miles, we got about 40 to go, so we're 1/3 left. Should be in about this general area. So I would assume that we're somewhere around here. Let me have a look outside the window again. Oh man, this is such a relief, I'm telling you. This was, that before it was really a little nerve-wracking. I mean, you know, it's embarrassing, you know, just to crash on the street. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Luckily, it's a simulator. But So yeah, looking at this, I'm not sure if I can interpret the chart to find out where exactly it is that we are. It definitely look like a peak, obviously, but you can see some pathways here, but we're way too close. Like you could, like when you look outside like this, but it sort of takes away some of the fun, you know. So try not to do that really. Obviously, every now and then I can't help myself when I just need to, and I do, but okay, so sit rep, we're flying at about 21,000 feet. But actually 20,140 something, I believe. There's that clicking sound again. Okay, so let's just plan ahead, because we are still flying. So, let's pull up the chart now again. Let me quickly check the DME. We are now 16.9 nautical miles from the VOR. So where's the chart? Okay, so we're 16.9. Yeah, so this definitely looks like a peak, by the way. So yeah, could make sense. This could sort of make sense. Right, okay. So we're on our way here, and from here there is some mountains here to cover as well. Not really sure how high these are. Hopefully it's not going to be the same. We'll need to fly a leg of 152 nautical miles heading 239. And what is the VOR frequency for Tacna? 116.8. So 116.8. We double check on the chart. 116.8. Okay, there you go. So what we'll do, we just fly over. 10 nautical miles to go. We fly over. Let's see in the nav2 if it's picking up. You put there 116.8. And now we see if the VOR2 needle, but it's still sitting there, so it's not doing anything. So we're out of range. So it looks like we're probably going to fly an outbound from the current VOR. So if we're going to do that, we will need to know the heading. And for that, I'm going back to the chart. As I said, 239 degrees. So I'm going to a heading of 239 degrees. That's the airport. .2 nautical mile. So 239 degrees would then become 239, almost 24 then, okay. So basically we turn left 90 degrees left turn. Now at our current altitude, this is definitely not going to reach 0, so we should be getting ready to turn left, and hopefully we can do it by changing this dial. Let's see which view are we going to use for this. .3, there we go, so we're passing the VOR. So if we do 239er here, is it actually going to turn for us? That would be nice. And it doesn't look like it's doing that yet. Let's get a little closer now. If it doesn't do it yet, so see if the old trick works of disconnecting and connecting. And that appears to be working. So that would be actually really good news, because it would mean now that the aircraft is going to fly an outboard radial of 239er or 240 degrees on our current VOR, which would mean that we are using the track that we need, and B, still being able to monitor our distance. So let's see what's going to happen. Is the aircraft going to settle there, or is it just going? My guess would be actually settle, obviously. So we are now 1 hour and 18 minutes into the stream, I can see. Maybe a little more actually. Okay, so what's the aircraft doing? 2-4, and it's evening out. It is going wing level. So for now this is good. So what we do now, we wait until the VOR2 needle is going to get into range, and it should actually go to here, to 2-4. Why is this sitting on 1-8? Let me check that real quick. I see, there you go, because you're flying heading 180. So this was not what we were supposed to do, so it's good that I check. So we need to do a right turn, and then we'll figure out later what the difference is there. 180 to so is it this that we are basically on the track then? Not really. Keep turning right for now. We're not turning right very fast, are we? Let's give it another go. So we're now flying the what's it called, gyro pilot. Now we turn right, and it should be going a little quicker. There you go, we're turning 230, 239. Oh man. Sometimes I get these sweet spots, they drive me crazy. I want to click and then, no, you're not in the right place. So what then obviously happens is you overshoot your target. It is going back a little bit, fortunately, so we do not have to do too much of the fine-tuning. What if we now go localizer? What does it do? It's sort of stable. Sort of, not quite. Should be flying 239er, and I cannot stand this. So we, you know, the thing is, we could fly heading mode, but then the wind could make us drift. So basically, what we're trying to figure out is how to fly the outbound radial, and one specific as well, actually. And so then the question would be, how can we use this to do this? So we can dial in and just say, this is what I want you to fly. But is it then doing that? If earlier I tried, but it went completely somewhere else, like now as well, you see? Good news. Looks like the VR2 is kicking in, or the nav2, I should probably say. So 116.8. Let's just fly that now and center that, and at least we'll know that we're flying towards our next VR, 128.5 nautical miles. Finally, man. Okay, so far so good. Do another check now. So I don't think the altitude's holding. No, so let's hold the altitude as well. Let's get a little OCD. Make sure we can see really well here. This is as close as I'm going to get for now. Yeah, we still got quite a ways to go, 124 nautical miles. So what the plane is sort of flying itself, and now that there are no mountains in the immediate vicinity, I'm quickly going back there to the galley and get myself another drink, and I will be right back. In the meantime, I'll turn on the external view so that we have something, a beautiful plane to look at, and I will be back in about 2-3 minutes. Okay, so it looks like we're still flying. That is always good news. We should be flying 239er. And looks like that would be this. We still got 104 nautical miles to go. So, yeah. Speed is about 180. Altitude is holding steady. 20,325 feet or whatever. So this it's a good situation to be in. Now, what is not so good is the mountains up ahead. We already saw these earlier. So let's pull up the chart again. So what was the DME again? About 100 nautical miles out of the 152. So that's 2/3 that we've passed. So we should be about here. There is some water there on our 11 o'clock perhaps. We could check for that. I could also see some roads maybe, but not sure if they're on this. Now then the mountain range. Oh look, it says 10,000, 9,000. Oh, I didn't see this earlier. I want to check the part that we were flying earlier. I mean, obviously we should have the same going on there as well, then. There you go. It wasn't very apparent for me first. 8,000, 12,000, 11,000. Oh, that's so cool, man. Okay. So we know what to expect. There's a peak, 15,000. Not sure I can read this. 3,000, ledge there, I don't know. 16,000, 14,000, 13,000. 11,000, 10,000, and then obviously the coloring helps as well. So the darker areas are look to be the highest areas. 15,000, 16,000, 15,000. So it's okay. So we should be in the clear. I would like to assume 15,000 and 14,000. So I would like to assume we were in the clear, so let's see if we can spot the little body of water there. You know, just because we might be able to. Yeah, I think so actually. There you go. So it's precisely to our let's see, it's on I don't know, 86 degrees to our left. Let's get the chart, so that would mean water's here. Yeah, so we should be about here. And so we sort of work out, so that's nice. I always like these simple little things. Okay, so we're still flying. It looks like it should be fine. There is a peak. That was the one that was 15,000 then, I believe. I would just guess. And we are well above that. So I suggest we stay above it. So let's have a look at our fuel. Usually the fuel in this aircraft for me is not a problem. If anything, I probably take too much fuel with me. And we are way too heavy on the landing. But yes, fuel is, does not appear to be posing any kind of problem at all. I am going to keep the anti-icing engaged, just to be sure. Luckily, we're also flying. We're also flying below the clouds there. That's also good news. And Let's have a look outside, see if we can locate the sun. Oh, it's still quite high. Okay. Because lately I've been doing some live streaming in the Americas, and yeah, sometimes it was around time for the sun to set, and which can sometimes cause quite a number of problems. I've run into a problem a couple of times where the runway was just simply not illuminated, and I was unfamiliar with the area. So I had quite a hard time localizing the airport and then touching down. There was one instance where I was landing and I just flew over this building and landed, I don't know, on the airfield, but not on the runway. Yeah, so quickly to reply to a text message from my mother. She's always asking, Arkady, did you eat enough borscht today, you know? Okay, so let's see if we can get some music going on here. That's right. It is your personal funky theme pilot. So that's one mountain peak coming by. We're not touching. It's a good development. Can we sit a little higher? Yes, we can. Let's scoot on over to the other side, maybe. Yeah, co-pilot seat. Let's do some mountaintop gazing. Hello, mountaintop. You look like a giant nipple. It's a really beautiful area, man, I must say, definitely. They got some roads, there's a house or a bunch of houses there. So these people, they all of a sudden they see this old school plane in the sky just flying by. And fortunately it looks like lately the overlay that you can see right here on the top of your screen is actually working again. And the way I got it to working again is because I chose to reinstall FSU IPC, and it seems to do the trick. Looks like it does a better job at syncing than does the SIM-Link. I was using the SIM-Link and that also worked, sort of, but not always. And for now this looks to be working pretty much the whole time. Can we sit up a little? Yes. Oh look, there's some water here. That looks nice. Still looks like we're going to hit those mountains, but judging from the map, it didn't look like we would be hitting them. Let's see, how far are we now? About 50 nautical miles, so that's 1/3 to go. Let's have a look at the chart. See if maybe we can see what his water is. So let's see, 1/3, 2/3, so we should be about here somewhere. So we flew already there, past that. Could be that they're flying over this. Let's quickly have a look. I'm not really sure, maybe this is just a lot smaller. Not really sure. We did fly over a little peak there to our right. Maybe we can put one and one together. Where was the nipple? Could have been this one, or maybe this one, or this one perhaps. This could make sense maybe, let's see. No. This one, this would make sense. I believe we're flying about here, so what was it? I lose myself. Probably between here and then on to here. So 15,000. Oh, there you go, flight level 200. Oh man. Can we see anything else? Because if you look at these dark numbers, it doesn't look like it's saying 200 anywhere. Which would also mean like double almost, you know, of 11,000 and 8,000, you know, 10,000. Let's have a look outside the window again. at least we can face our demise and look it straight into the eyes. Yeah, we're probably gonna fly over there. So what's the aircraft doing? Still holding steady, speed steady, altitude is steady. We are drifting from our course, so I should have checked that maybe a little better. Which would make sense, we are to the right of our track. That definitely seems to add up with what you saw on the chart, really. So that also sort of confirms our location a little bit to some extent. Appears to be drifting more and more, could be wind. And wind would make sense, I guess, flying over the mountains again, you know. Such a cool livery, man. Look at it. Just totally in love with this livery. All those patches, you know. It's just marvelous. Really marvelous. Okay, so back to flying. Yes, we're definitely drifting. So we got 32 nautical miles to go. While we keep on drifting, going to pull up the chart and look up the next VOR frequency. Just fly a little to the right and see if probably we're being blown to the left anyway. I'm wondering, or I'm betting actually. Okay, so we go to the sky vector and let's have a look. So we are flying from this one to this, which was 116.8, and from there we're almost there. We take a right turn. Sometimes it does and sometimes it does not say these little white thingies. Maybe it's, I don't know why, it's just not showing it here. Anyway, once we arrive we take a right turn and we fly to the ELO, which is 112.5. Okay. So we could see if it picks up already. 112.5. Let's first get back on the track there. Yeah, we're definitely being blown off the course. So 112.5. Let's put that in. Go to start with the nav2 radio. And at least we can check if the second needle, and it looks like it comes to life. Just to double check, let's flip it over again. Yeah, see there it starts moving to its previous position. So 102.5 they can put in. In theory we could now already start flying that VOR, but we won't, because I would like to know which track we are flying on, you know, otherwise we might run into some, you know, some mountains or something. So the reason, yeah, see what I mean? Because there is some mountains going on there, well, which we'll probably cross anyway. But if we were to, let's say, like we're not entirely sure where we are, but if we were now to fly this direction, we might not know what to expect, and would have to look it up. We would not be really sure. And the visual of the chart here, of an actual line that you draw yourself, that definitely helps a lot. So we just fly to this VOR, which probably is also quite realistic, because there's an airport, you know. What if we need to land all of a sudden? We're not straying from airports. And yeah, that's going to be the final leg, and then we should also prepare for the landing. So we can pull up the charts, see maybe they have an ILS, and we could try an ILS perhaps, which is relatively new to me to fly ILS in this aircraft. Okay, we're 24 nautical miles and drifting a lot, so by now we need to fly straight to the south. Where are we? No, not really. We're actually still heading 250. Maybe what we could do, no, let's just keep doing it like this. Does this still work? I just make a sudden change. Is the aircraft going to turn? Ah, there you go. Doesn't look like it is, does it? Maybe that's one explanation. Let's have a look here. Maybe because no, not really sure why. See what's going to happen now. So then are we now heading south? So now it's drifting that much. I should be flying in the direction of the white arrow, so that would be good. And we are. There's some clouds right there. Okay, how far out are we? 18 nautical miles. The altitude is still steady, speed is still steady, and now the heading, or the track if you will, is also still steady. Fortunately, no more icing on the windows. And maybe let's have a look at the chart and see if we can find the meter information for the airport that we're flying to. No, it does not look like there's meter information available. That's a shame. So Sierra Papa Lima Oscar. So let's pull up the chart then. Sierra Papa Lima Oscar. Let's turn off this one. Sierra Papa Lima Oscar. Got the charts. Hilo Jan Jorge Fernandez. So this one should go. Approach, you got runway 12, what, you can only land on runway 12? We are runway 12 and we are runway 12 category C, category A and B. Okay, let's have a look at the airport diagram. What are they saying here? Free safety service is provided for daily operations only and in visual conditions. Due to the height of the AFIS unit, where it is located, there is not adequate visibility over runway 12/30. Pilots should take precaution on takeoff and landing. Aircraft must use minimum power when entering, exiting, or maneuvering in a apron. Okay, so minimum power. Oh, we're was it only this part there? It's an interesting place. Okay, so the elevation is 72 feet. We know that. And it looks like they want us to fly 12. But again, it looks like it. So let's have a look here. So there is no ILS. There is a VOR. So I think for me it would be best just to fly visual approach then. The heading is 116 degrees, so we could maybe fly over the VOR and then turn right heading 311 degrees. It does not say any distance. That would be nice. VOR, let's see. Over the VOR, 311 degrees. Start turn at 2.5 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to have to wing that, I guess. So let's leave that there. Okay, so where are we now? We're 4.1 nautical miles, 4.2. Okay, so we can now switch over to the what was it? 112.5. Switch over and reset. And we are now turning to the right. Interesting. It looks like it was receiving it, but it's not showing any DME. I'm quickly checking the chart to see if there's a direction. At least about 280, I believe. I'll be 300 then. But why no DME? Tell me, why is there no DME? My apology. course, never realized I could also just select the nav tool there to finding the DME. Okay, so it's on nav 1. So yeah, I don't understand why do not have the DME. Maybe it's simply not there. We could have another look at the chart. It does not say DME. Anyway, we should be able to find it. It's not too far. I suggest we start descending a little bit. Let's have a look. 1,000, so this is not too much. 3,000. Yeah, so let's start descending now. Excuse me. Yeah, so we do not really know how far, but obviously there is the coast. A shame, I would have loved the VOR or the DME there. Whatever, you can't have everything in life, of course. So let's start descending. Do we say descend here?
26 inches, please. Setting 26 inches.
I'm going to set 26 inches
26 inches set.
for the manifold pressure.
Altimeters and flight instruments cross-checked. Seatbelt signs on. On. Engine blower is low. Low. Descent checks are complete.
Okay, so apparently a couple of descent checks. So what we'll do is we turn off the altitude control. And see if we can sort of trim it down. We aim for about 1,000 feet per minute. There we go, right there you can see 1,000 feet. So we're descending 1,000 feet per minute. So if you would like to reach 3,000, we are at 20,000, so 17,000, so 17 minutes until we reach 3,000 feet, if we maintain this altitude. So descent is looking good. We might actually be a little late descending. Not really sure. These clouds are quite in the way, man. They do not really help out for the visual part of the approach, especially since we have no way of telling how far it is, and also on the sky vector map, for some reason it didn't say. Could maybe just try refreshing the page. I'm not sure if there's any other way to find out how long this line is. So would 1 square maybe be about 50 nautical miles, so this could be maybe 70 nautical miles. Let's zoom out a little. If this is 152, this is about 50. So we could put on a DME for the previous VOR, but let's just wing it some more. descend a little quicker. It was getting a little below 1000. Yes, I was a little hesitant starting the descent early because, you know, I'm still sort of traumatized from the unfortunate situation we found ourselves in shortly after takeoff, where we had to battle altitude, gravity, mountains and visibility, and then on top of that some ice on the windows. So and then I saw on the charts there were some mountains up ahead, and I just took like extra precautionary measures, but just like you know, thinking no, just stay up high, it will be fine, Arkady. But now I'm thinking we could have actually descended a little earlier, really. But you know, like with all the flights, it's a learning experience. So in the end, it should be going better and better and better, you know. And as long as it's fun and fun and fun, that's the best, you know. It looks like on the right there is definitely some higher terrain, so maybe we can use that to sort of determine our position. Could be probably this dark area here, right? 1005, I believe. So that would be sort of halfway, so we're probably not going to make it until 3000 feet. We should probably be on this point, really. Looks like that might be. Yeah, let me check my chart here real quick. Yeah, I think so. Let me show you. So if you look at the area here, there's this little line going into the water, and when you look out the window, it also looks like that's what we're seeing right there. So that's my maximum zoom for now. Excuse me. So no DME, speed's high, like to descend a little quicker. Now we're descending over 1500. Not sure if we're going to overstress the aircraft really. Let's bring that back a little. And is it possible to... Do we have control over the throttle? No, we do not. Do we like that? I'm not sure. So are we going to do abort so that we have control? Or are we going to... That might be the runway there. So the flying pattern anyway. But it might be a long pattern. So descending through 12,400 feet. We got about 10,000 to go, which would be about 10 minutes. But we are now 1500, so that would be, I don't know, 7.5 minutes or something. So let's just keep on going for now. I believe with regard to descent, I am going to press the abort so that we gain a little more control over the throttle and see if we can control the airspeed so it's not going too fast. But it would be a shame if we now overstress the aircraft, you know what I mean. But my guess, let me do a little scary thing here. Let's see, and then start beeping with the klaxon. Okay, so let's keep it for this for now. Descending 1500 feet per minute. Let's just hope we do not overstress the aircraft. Our big friend now is this tiny little white arrow. This will be pointing towards the VOR. So let's have a quick look where the VOR is located on the airport. See if we can find it on here, perhaps. Taxi chart. Does not appear to be on that. VOR, there you go. Okay. So that's pretty good. So we are now (9,000 feet, I hope. Why is this thing pointing here? I mean, surely we're not at 19,000. That was a little confusing, but yes, we are at 9,000 feet, obviously. See, so obviously there was no DME. We're probably overhead now. That's the little peak. So remember that shape. And let's look at our friend, the thin white arrow, because it might flip around any second. There you go. So now we just keep flying heading. Approaching 7,000 feet. Now what we were going to try is, let's have a look, how are we going to do this before I speak. Could try heading 311, regardless of the exact pattern they are advising there. 311, was it? Man, why do I keep forgetting this thing? 311, there we go. It's actually not too far from our current heading. Altitude 6,200. 311 coming up. level, wing level. 6,000 feet. I'm probably going to check some more tutorials with regards to the descending stage and everything, because I believe you could like aim for about 3,000 feet, but basically you keep your speed unchanged, and then once you're at 3,000 or some stable, you know, altitude from which you are going to fly your approach, that's actually the moment you're going to bleed off all the excess energy. So I'm a little scary what's going to happen with these thrust settings, but probably should be fine if we just keep monitoring the speed there as soon as we fly level. I'm trying to resist the urge to go to the external view and have a look outside, because obviously that would answer a lot of my questions with regards to our whereabouts, but this is the most realistic, you know, and it's, I like it. Okay, so it's the final 1,000 feet. It's 4,000 feet is also the transition level, but it looks like the altimeter is set. So let's try and use the controls a little bit. So sort of trimming, if you will, to reduce our descent rate. So it's back to 500 feet per minute. And then once we reach 3,000 feet, I'm going to engage the altitude hold button, so there's not too big of a shock as well, you know. So try to do it a little bit gradually. Oh, that is not too gradual, but within limits, I guess. Don't hold, please keep dropping a little more. Dropping a little more, please. Aiming for 3,000, man, come on. 3,200. Final beats, 3,000 coming up, and we engage the altitude hold. Okay, so now we watch our speed, and let's go to in range and see what that's going to do for us.
On low. Fuel tank selectors.
Visibility looked fine.
Crossfeed off.
Hopefully it's still the same. So we're going to take a left turn to heading 116, and hopefully we'll line up. We do still have our friend here. We're probably going not too big of a problem. Okay, so what's our speed doing? So let's just now go for the left turn. I'm going to use the gyro pilot for that. Bank full. And now definitely monitor the speed, because it might drop. Holding steady 3,000 feet. The arrow is helping as well, so that we know which direction we're going. I see someone join the stream. Welcome. We're about to land in Peru. The PMDG DC-6 Bravo. Here you can have a look outside. It's a beautiful airplane. But as I said earlier, I do not want to look outside too much because I would like the immersion bit, so it looks, you know, it feels a little more realistic. Okay, so the white arrow here, the thin one, it is our friend, it's pointing straight to the runway, or at least actually we are. So let's get ready to line her up. Like this almost. Just click the button there. So we should be sort of flying straight towards the VOR. And now all we need is a visual on the runway. And I believe it should be there, because we just flew over it from the other end, but we were a little too high. So what would you need to do now? Oh my god, clouds. Okay, so looks like the airport might be there. It's a little hard to see still. Now we need some energy management. We're going to use the artificial flight engineer. You know, usually you're not alone in an airplane like this, and there's even a chair for the flight engineer. So he's helping us out now. So do the before landing checklist. He's going to drop the gear, and he's setting the flaps. And we're just looking for the runway, which I believe would be there. So we might be a little to the right, but we have no instrument landing capabilities here. I'm just going to bank to the left.
Mixture set. Gear up and down, please. Gear up and down.
I'm going to re-engage the gyro pilot if I can. These are critical moments, maybe I just better not now. Okay. So 2,800 feet.
Gear down and locked, 3 rings. Props. 2,400 RPM.
Speed is still a little high.
2,400 RPM set. Cow flaps. Plus 3 degrees.
And I'm just guessing the runway is there, I do not have a visual.
ADI off. ADI is off. Landing lights.
I do not like these foggy atmospheres.
Lights extended and on. RP. Calling cold. Set cold.
Speed's dropping.
Before landing checks complete.
Let's just trim the aircraft for a straight, for a level approach, so we have a balanced approach. I forget the English word again. Like stable. We want to be in a stable position before we do the most critical part of any flight, which is landing on a runway. No visual yet. That might be it. So it looks like we might be to the right a little. Let's turn right. Speed is fine. Still high-ish, but it's nothing too bad. The gear has been dropped, so that's good. Losing a little bit of altitude. For now, that's okay. Still not quite sure about the runway. Let's look at our little friend here. It's pointing a little to the left. Fortunately, it's the maximum zoom that I can do now. Well, judging from the charts that we were looking at earlier, we should be fine. The altitude is sort of stable. I'll just trim it some more, so that we're not descending and we're not climbing either. And that you can see here, if this needle is at the 0, you're not climbing and you're not descending, right? So we have a visual of the runway now. I might be completely off, man. Could be that, but I'm not really sure. So just gonna keep on getting closer. We're not losing too much altitude, trimming it up a little bit, ever so slightly. That looks more like a runway. Let's get up closer again. So the one to the right, I believe the left one is probably the taxiway. Okay, so far so good. Speed is somewhat high, but I believe it's acceptable for now. It is also not dropping too much, and it's definitely not increasing. And that's definitely a runway. Let's try and stay around 2,000 feet. So let's line it up a little more now. So as the NASA would say, all systems nominal. So the airport elevation is 79 feet above sea level. Well, this looks like a good point for the final precision turn. Not too much. Just leave it at this for a bit. And see now if we can descend a little more. Not too much, just steadily, easily. 500 feet per minute maybe. So was there anything else the flight engineer can do? No. So reduce speed a little bit. This is always a little bit tricky in this aircraft because it appears to respond a little slow to the thrust input. So I want to descend some more now, so also reducing the speed a little. Again, not too much. And usually I believe you can land relatively high speed. Now I definitely want to reduce a little more. Let's see what this is going to do. I'm going to extend the flaps. Keep going down. Flaps are full. Lined up nice. Just get on the glide slope. A little more to the right maybe. Speed's dropping. Let's get stabilized. Stabilized please. Might be going a little slow. So a little more power. Like that. A little more to the right. A little more power now. Oh my god. Oh my god, we crashed. Oh, that is such a shame. We were doing such a nice job. So what happened? What happened? I believe it's power management issue. Must be power management. Probably was going a little too slow. As I said, this aircraft, you can fly relatively fast. And you can set it down relatively fast. Oh man, I'm really bummed, man. Really bummed. because the last couple of flights have been trying the PMDG DC-6, which was this aircraft, and it's definitely a steep learning curve, and it's so unforgiving, you know. It says you crashed, you collided with an object and caused critical damage to the aircraft, and you could see all of a sudden, like, I did not look like, okay, maybe just get a little more power, but it's so slow in getting the power that it makes sense to have an approach, fly relatively high speed, and then at the very, 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 very last bit you pull back the power. So I hope this is a good lesson, and I hope my next landing will be even will be actually successful. I did have a couple of successful landings with this aircraft, but I do not like the hit and miss. I would like to, you know, actually do it. Like, I would like to say, Arkady is going to land the airplane right there, and there you go, you know, and just land it. Just like I do with an Airbus or something. But Airbus is a relatively simple plane, you know, in comparison to an all-piston engine aircraft like this, and, you know, to figure it out for yourself. Okay, so we can keep on talking and talking. We crashed. There's a learning curve involved, so I hope I learned. There's a nice saying, there are no mistakes besides one, which is learning from your mistakes and all that miserable philosophical crap. Thank you very much for checking. We're going to end the stream. Hope to see you at the next one. I'm looking forward to it, and everybody be very kind to one another and have a very good day. I'm your personal flying sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. See you next time. Bye bye.